all 10 players are loaded, and we'll be back soon.
Radiant team ban. Dire team ban.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to game number 2 between MUFC and Vici Gaming. This is the round number 1 of GEST Challenge. This is going to be a best of 3 series, and of course, if you didn't catch it just now, MUFC won a insane game. I don't want to spoil how they win it. I think if you just miss a game, just go back and watch it. It's completely worth your time. And of course, I'm Illuminus from BTS, as well as joined by Gods from BTS as well. The draft is already well underway, so Gods, take it away. What do you see so far that kind of pops out?
We've got ourselves a Keeper of the Light game, which I'm okay with. I haven't seen too much of this hero in some time here. We'll have to look to see what MUFC like to get with their first 2 picks. They love to go for the Mag, but Mag not in the pool, so generally speaking, they go for one of their 2 supports. They'll grab either the Shadow Demon or the Rubik here, depending on what they want to be playing, and then they start looking at their solos. I imagine maybe even we see a Darkseer getting picked up nice and early on. Grab that offlaner off the bat here, but Vici Gaming, they played a really solid overall game last year. San Diego and the Queen of Pain at mid lane really controlled the tempo nice and early on, but they just couldn't seal the deal. Like that game was in the bag, but they just, I don't know, when push came to shove, MUFC, they just showed better composure.
Let's just say that there might be 5 Chinese family disowning some children by the end of this series, but hopefully, let's move beyond that. Shadow Demon as well as Lone Druid being picked up here. I personally think Lone Druid is one of the most imbalanced carry. Simply because of his laning presence is absolutely brutal. He's just a lot stronger as a carry that could go in the off lane, could win the mid lane easily, could beat most 1v1. You don't find many carries, and obviously he's just an insane beast in terms of pushing towers. Split pushes just perfectly, gets tanky just simply by getting level 16. He does a lot of he gets a lot of things for free, I feel like. So I think he's a very powerful carry, and it looks like Vici Gaming is going to pick it up 3rd. And we're going to see Enigma, which I haven't seen as a hero for a long time. And what do you feel about that hero, particularly in this game?
It's picked up very early as well. Not something I mentioned that I've seen this team MUFC play and draft time and time again over the last couple of weeks. I saw them in Singapore play for 4 days straight, and even aside from that, I've seen them play in the SEA League, in the recent GST, the GMPGL, but they haven't run much Enigma, especially picked up this early in the draft. Often they'll run it as sort of a greedy jungling support back when they had Lingstall on the team, but maybe we're going to be seeing an offlane Enigma here. It'll be interesting to see how they look to do this. I have to agree with you. I like the Lone Druid pick for Vici Gaming. It's one of CTY's strong heroes. He's sort of known for his anti-mage, but back in G-League, the matches they actually won, G-League, to me, like during the group stage, it was all about Lone Druid. That hero probably had one of the highest success rates in that tournament and was being top pick, top ban in a lot of different games here, but Enigma picked up. I guess they want something to help. I mean, there's no one they really need to lock down with a black hole just yet, but it's an interesting little pickup here.
Yeah, it feels like perhaps from the result of last game, MUFC says team fight is where we're strong at. The coordination is absolutely beautiful to watch. And having Rubik, Enigma, and as well as Queen of Pain, they have the team fight pretty much on lockdown. And I feel like Vici Gaming just basically have to concede to that. Another good thing, a good way to combat against team fight is to make sure, again, you spread out the map open, and picking basically split pusher, I feel like is the way to go. You already have Keeper of Light recall. You already have Lone Druid Spear, which is great for split pushing, especially if you go for the Radiance build. So I feel like Vici Gaming, if we want to go Nature's Prophet, perhaps they could be pretty good off in terms of spreading the map open and never engaging in 5v5. But again, this is pretty early still in the draft, as we still have one more ban, at least a couple more heroes being picked up. But Vici Gaming banning out hardcore carries. No Phantom Lancer, no Void, and no Clockwork. Clockwork's also a hero that makes me think that they want to go split push, because he's probably the best hero against split push, having global weighted defend as well as a very long range initiation to catch people off guard.
Yeah, and Clockwork also works really well against Keeper Light. That was something I remember Bulba from Liquid used to always say. Whenever they gave away Keeper Light, they'd pick up something like Clockwork, because you just snipe the Keeper Light, you can bring him down really easily. And I think that's something Vici Gaming also somewhat worried about here. Sure, it's a team MUFC who aren't known for running Clockwork, but it's definitely possible. And we see a shadow.
Wow.
So it's very greedy. It's a lot of farm that they're going to need between these 2 heroes. But I guess based off last game, they're expecting this to go late game. And when they see that Enigma pick, they're also expecting this to go late game, because they haven't even picked up Hon Trash Player's hero yet. He's going to be on some kind of carry or hard carry. I imagine now MUFC's response is say, let's not go late game, let's try and end this a lot faster, and maybe they get him something like a Luna and go for more like an early to mid game push, and Enigma can rush something like a mech. They've got Queen of Pain to give some AoE clearing, and then they need something, another support with some pushing power, whether it's a Leshrac with the Edict, maybe even a jungler like a Chen, but otherwise they have to go for their own late game, and late game, another late game battle, well, I guess it's going to go slightly in MUFC's favor because of having the Enigma Black Hole, but 2 carries on the Vici gaming side so far.
Yeah, I feel like I like the idea of ending the game early. I'm not sure how they will do it because Shadow Poison, Illuminate, as well as Shadow Raises are so good at mowing down Creep Wave. And without the Creep Wave, I'm not sure these squishy heroes could push without it. So I feel like if MUFC wants to push, they need some heroes to kind of die past of all these spells of Vici Gaming. Something like a Night Stalker, something like a Clockwork that says YOLO, run in, and basically disrupt everything and allow that push to go through. It seems pretty hard to do it, especially against a Lone Druid Bear, but for now they're going to pick up a Weaver, and I'm not sure exactly what this hero is about. He doesn't team fight really well. He doesn't push really well. He's kind of
generally their offlane. Generally they run it in the offlane, so it kind of looks to me like they may run the Enigma in the jungle. They're going to see this Vici Gaming greedy lineup with the 2 carries and say, well, we'll get greedy ourselves and run the Enigma in the jungle.
But this makes no sense because, I mean, if anybody remember the matchup from the G League final, Lone Druid just cleans house versus Weaver. You give him a Sentry Ward and you have the lane won. Like, the skill level does not even matter here. You just win the lane flat out.
And they can definitely go a Shadow Demon Keeper of the Light. They can easily go offensive trial lane. They go Brewmaster though, so it's a bit of an awkward offensive trial lane. And I think even maybe more likely, well, do we look at even Brewmaster going? Well, do you look at a Lone Druid in the off lane with Brewmaster at mid and Shadow Fiend farming in the safe lane? There's a couple different ways they can do it. They get a TA last, so it's not going to be a hard carry lineup coming out from MUFC. We see Hon Trash Player switching over maybe to the Queen of Pain or to the Weaver. A couple of different ways they can look to play this. Maybe even it's a farming Queen of Pain, but MUFC have got themselves a lot of sort of semi-carries here.
Yeah, they do have a lot of semi-carries, and unfortunately not many lanes to farm those semi-carries. Again, you talked about the lane, the Vici Gaming lineup being greedy. With the last pickup on TA, I feel like they're being the greedy one. Where do you actually get the farm? Enigma's going to be in the jungle. Weaver needs a lane to farm. Queen of Pain needs a lane. Templar Assassin needs a lane as well. I guess another way to look at it is when you run these like quad-core lineup, which sounds like a computer, somebody's going to get farm and somebody's going to contribute. So I guess that might work. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we'll have to look to see how. I'm really curious to me how they lane this. I mean, for MUFC, Hon Trash Player generally in the safe lane, so probably he's got to bring a protection. So it looks like we'll see him in the safe lane. And the question is, who's going to... he goes safe lane, TA goes mid, Weaver to the off lane. So it will be a jungling Enigma by Wang Wang, and that puts Winter onto the support Rubik. So it's an interesting lane setup. It is going to be the I guess, more greedy option with the Enigma farming. And as far as the lanes go, in theory, as long as they don't get offensive tri-lane, that's 3 lanes which should... Well, 2 lanes plus the jungle where they have heroes farming. The only hero lane where they struggle is the off-lane Weaver.
Well, the Weaver should be okay because I think it mostly is going to be a 1v1 matchup because these 2 supports don't have a very, very hardcore lockdown. You know Sakuchi is going to be a very reliable way to get him out of trouble until he starts running out of mana, which I don't think is going to be a big issue. The mid lane matchup I think should be okay for the Templar Assassin as well. So despite the very greedy lineup for MUFC, I think mostly it should be fine. I want to say this game really comes down to how quickly both teams can get farm, and that really comes down to the Radiant jungle. How well can they stack? Can they pull? Because Shadow Demon and, of course, Keeper of Light, they could actually mow down jungle creeps a lot better than most supports can. And they could really catch up farm, just like how Enigma is going to be farming the jungle as well.
Yeah, I think I have to agree. Getting these 2 supports on the Radiant side, they're going to be able to spend a lot of time stacking, pulling, clearing out waves with the Illuminate, because Weaver is going to be kept out of this lane pretty easily when SF has this Sentry Ward. They'll spend some time harassing him maybe at level 1, but once they get SF level 3, level 4, he can handle the Weaver on his own. To me, the big thing I'm a bit surprised by, Vici, they had the opportunity to basically punish this draft. Like you said, they could have sent Lone Druid 1v1 against the Weaver. They had the SF who couldn't go in. They could have easily had a strong offensive tri-lane with Shadow Demon, Keeper of the Light, and something like, well, a Clockwork or a Sven, whatever it may be. And because MUFC with a dual lane at top couldn't really handle that, but they decide to go for the safer option. They decide to just send their tri-lane bottom, and this will give Weaver all sorts of problems.
Yeah, Weaver, one thing that Weaver is really good at is actually disrupting these pulls, because Sakuchi could actually get him out, because he's just exactly doing that, preventing the pull timing coming from the Keeper. And the longer he could do this, he could disrupt the farm from the 2 supports. He's not going to get any farm in EXP on the bot lane, because, you know, there's 3v1. And Shadow Fiend, you know, he's going to get absolutely free last at every single one of them.
he did his best to disrupt this pull, but it looks like Keeper Light still gets it. Just a single pull now, but the key thing is here, pull those Mud Golems over. And it looks like it's actually even been stacked by Fenrir, so they're getting all this stacks going. CTY will be forced to farm under his tower, but he's one of sort of the best last hitters in the game, so I don't think he'll have too many problems doing just that. Although the problem is SF doesn't really have any way of tanking it up too easily.
Okay, I just want to point out that this Weaver is doing something what we call a pub tactic, which you hope
Strat is legit, man.
You hope they don't upgrade a courier, and when that bottle's delivered, you snipe the courier. Unfortunately, Sakuchi passed a creep wave, so if Vici Gaming is actually paying attention, that should not happen.
Yeah, the reason this is actually like a pretty legit strat is because if you see the opponent's mid is rushing bottle with a 3-branch build, Brewmaster actually got himself tangled. You can't actually afford a flying creep.
Oh my god, it's coming in.
This happens every time. You get the bottle up before the supports have gold for a flying courier. And this is Keeper of the Light. He's sitting on 210 gold. He almost has enough. And this is with 2 neutral kills. If your supports get no farm, he's waiting though.
He knows.
Yep. He's going to upgrade it any seconds. Keeper of the Light says, I've got enough gold in 2 seconds. Immediately upgrades it.
Wow.
And Brewmaster even walking back. They knew what was going on.
Yep, they did.
The reason it's so strong is because supports can't afford that flying courier. But when your solo mid has his bottle, your supports don't have enough gold to upgrade it if he did a sort of eco build to get that bottle up. But Keeper of the Light luckily got some gold from the neutrals, and Brewmaster decided, hey, I'm just going to walk backwards to go get it too, because they knew what Weaver was up to.
Next time in your pub games, when you're playing the offlane Bounty Hunter, Weaver, or Jungle Prophet,
yeah,
try to do that. It's actually extremely hilarious. If you get a courier snipe, 175 gold times 5, that's almost a tower kill. It's completely worth it for that time investment. Sure, he didn't get it. That's sad and stuff. But obviously, what was he going to get on the bot lane? Nothing. Because of, again, the 2 supports who can not exactly kill him, but could easily usher him out of the lane.
The problem is, I mean, it's not really, it was a problem before, it's still a problem now. Where does he actually go? What does he look to do? I mean, he can do a bit disrupting his pools, but Coddle now up to level 2. You've got Shadow Demon, well, still level 1, but he'll be looking at a level 2, getting a point in that Shadow Poison or Soul Catcher soon. And he comes back, and this lane's only getting harder and harder for him to actually stay in lane, do a bit of damage, poke around. He's not getting any XP. The 2 supports on the Radiant side are just constantly pushing. CTY constantly farming on his tower. There's no creep waves or XP for this Weaver to get anywhere on this map, it feels.
Yeah, again, he's going to be trying some disruption. He can't take too much damage. Sentry Ward and disruption could be the kill. Where is it? There you go. Illuminate's going to get charged up from afar, and I do believe this should be First Blood. Big Illuminate, couple more right clicks, and yes, First Blood being picked up. Weaver not respecting the damage output of these supports, or at least not realizing there's a Sentry Ward. In either case, gave up FB needlessly.
Yeah, it was unnecessary, and these are the 2 farmers for... Well, the 2 farmers, CTY at the bottom lane, is getting himself completing another free farm. Similar story at the top lane with the Queen of Pain, but I mean, Queen of Pain free farm is not really a worthwhile trade for an SF free farm in my books. And Lone Druid at top, unlike the Weaver, he's getting XP, he's getting some farm. He's pulled these creep waves all the way around. He is forced to resummon his bear, but he's got himself up to 5-6 creeps, and all he's right now he's not even going to be playing as sort of the main carry. Maybe even look to go more for that like phase boots Maelstrom build. Go for something a bit more cheap and cost effective rather than look to save for a Radiance.
Yeah, unless that Queen of Pain snowballs hardcore, it's not going to be worth that EXP. I mean, CTY also on the hero that could snowball fairly hard as well. So I feel like once Brewmaster hits level 6 and has enough mana to reliably cast his ultimate, I feel like they can lose this early game. Looks like disruption is going to happen on the bot lane here. Sentry is going to get sniped off, so that's very unfortunate though.
Yeah, Vici thought they could maybe get a kill out of that one, but not going to be the case here. They're trying to get this tier 1 tower nice and early on. Weaver, though, using this opportunity to get some levels, to get some XP. The creep wave at his town. And no Sentry Wards up. The Sentry Wards both gone now, so he can safely at least stay in XP range. Disruption with a follow-up level 3 raise as well as an Illuminate may be enough to sort of bring him down here, but he's looking okay for the time being. Actually, raises come out from CTY. TFG takes a lot of damage, forces the Shikuchi out, but they're just going to back off and go for this tier 1. CTY grabs the tier 1 tower, so he's now up to 1,600 gold very fast. He's going for the Shadow Blade. I love this build from the safe lane farming Shadow Fiends, from any Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, I mean, Shadow Blade in this particular game is going to be very good as well. Mobility is going to be the key. And having a way to kind of pop out of nowhere and basically get a free kill with Requiem of Soul on just about any hero on the dire side is always an upside. So I like the way that he's rushing it, and I like let's see how he's going to be using it. A lot of players, when they build a Shadow Blade, they just farm with it. I feel like that's the absolutely wrong thing you shouldn't be doing. But this is CTY, so I expect a lot of him out of him, especially when he's getting free farm like this.
Yeah, he's getting free farm, and it's I mean, Queen of Pain, who's getting some free farm at top, but where does Queen of Pain even go? You're looking at some treads pick up. He's gone for a battering for his team. It's not really... And the battering sort of like, oh, maybe you want to go for a bit of an early push here with the plus armor, bring in the Enigma at the launch, but we're not even really seeing it. It's just MUFC playing a more farm-heavy game. They've got Enigma up to level 6 now. He's got a smoke as well, so I imagine we see a rotation coming out of him soon, whether he looks to gank mid, maybe kill off the Brewmaster, who's just hit level 6 himself. So that's going to be a really hard kill to get when he's got the ultimate. Or we see him looking to push this top lane. If anything, I think they need to maybe smoke around, gank the Lone Druid from behind, and push down these 2 towers at top lane really quickly.
Yeah, normally if you go for a gank on Brewmaster, and if you don't get a kill, but you force out the ultimate, it'll still be a big win. But in this particular game, if you don't get that kill and you force out the ultimate, it's not going to be as big of a win, because what are you going to do with the ultimate down? You can't actually push that hard. You can't really, force a team fight elsewhere. It's just like, you just force an ultimate. Cool, he's going to have a lot of time to regain that cooldown anyways. So they're going to go for San Diego instead. And it's a very awkward angle coming in.
Yeah. This timing is really difficult. Winter's going to try and make a go for it. There's a Blink Shadow Strike. This should be enough damage to do so. Wang, he's scared with a Malphite, so they'll get that kill there, and now they've really got to push. I feel they need, 2 towers out of this. Bottom lane is actually Brewmaster goes down to the Weaver. Rotation coming in from FCFC. He's also trying to deal with this Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend's so low here. FCFC just doing some work here on these heroes. Shadow Fiend survives on about 23 HP, but FC's got himself a double kill. All for a Weaver, and now he goes back in. He's going to do this. He's got the refraction up. There's nowhere to run for the Keeper of the Light. He's got Phase Boots. He's dead. It's another kill. Triple kill for FCFC. No, he's got just 2. One got stolen by the Weaver.
Well, Weaver getting a free kill on the bot lane, and Solo Mid getting suddenly a double kill. That's going to be insane boost. I mean, I thought the lane's going to be perfectly fine for VG, especially Vici. The way that the Lone Druid got farmed, the way they got first blood on the Weaver on bot and a free tower, suddenly the tables have turned.
Yeah, the tables have turned quite a bit, and this is MUFC this time with the early game advantage. They've got themselves some momentum top lane. Definitely would like to see them start picking. Well, they're going to get this tier 1 tower. It looks like they'll get it this way. No. There's a siege creep there, so it's going to get down to... No, it's not even on the tower, so it's not getting down to deny range just yet. So I think for MUFC, they want to get more heroes up top. They bring in the Queen of Pain once again, so they're just making sure that this doesn't get denied. They're worried about maybe a counter TP in. As that does get down to deny range. It's actually going to go in for a kill now. San Diego, once again at top, doesn't stand a chance. And now we're going to see the tier 1 tower going down. If MUFC can get a tier 2 as well, this is where they can really start to snowball out of control. I
really dislike how Hontrash Blair threw his ultimate for there. It looked like a pretty clean kill for sure. There was no teleport scroll coming in. And yeah, sure, you want to ensure those kills, but at the same time, that's a very, very costly cooldown on that ultimate. She's not nowhere dangerous now with that ultimate not available. So,
well, with Keeper Light now at top lane, this push is going to be pretty much ended immediately. This is the one thing for MUFC, when they get this decent advantage, they can't really turn it into towers when you're up against the Keeper Light. But what they can do is get some more map control, farm their own neutrals, farm out all the different lanes, and well, Roshan will be really easy for them to take whenever even if they want to go for it soon. With Enigma Eidolons, with Meld minus armor, they've got a perfect draft for taking out Roshan anytime in the really, really early game.
Yep. Small thing to point out here for Shadow Fiend, notice that he's going for the Shadow Blade, but he's not actually picking up the Shadow Amulet on his hero. Just like a little bit of nice mind game, just hide the item, hide the information from your enemies as long as possible. So that the first time you use your Shadow Blade activation, it's going to be a complete surprise. If they see that Shadow Amulet on your hero, they know exactly what you're going to be building for. So you don't exactly need the stats too much anyways early game. So just the tiny things that you could play with your enemies a bit.
Yeah, and I think this is going for the surprise factor is definitely a way to do it. He may get like a free kill on the Weaver out of it. You catch Weaver by surprise with a Shadow Blade ultimate into a raise, and Weaver's also just really damn squishy. If Weaver's on like 2/3 HP, something I saw just earlier today in a Dota 1 match was you Shadow Blade in, one right click followed up by a well-timed raise, and it was a kill. But CTY, problem is he's got no Shadow Blade at bottom lane. He's going to get brought down by an incoming gank from the Queen of Pain. Fenrir now going to maybe throw his life away as well. Scream gets rid of those disruption illusions. Now Fenrir going to take a fall as well. 2 kills get given away at bottom lane. Queen of Pain, Trash player. He's took the safe lane and now he's getting mobile on the map. I really like that he's maybe giving more... Well, he's helping out this Weaver catch up as far as farm goes, because Weaver's going to need to get some decent damage and tanking abilities if they are to take this game to late game.
Ultimate gets spaded out in the mid lane as well as Enigma rotating with the gank. And we're going to hear this nice, lovely teleportation squirrel for about an hour. Or just 10 seconds, as we're going to unpause.
Looks like both teams are ready.
Not sure how much of that was a tactical pause, but looks like Enigma, or yeah, the Brewmaster is going to be fine. Looks like he's going to turn around and perhaps even go for the kill. Tornado in the air just to annoy that Enigma a little bit more.
Yeah, just being annoying, it looks like. So he'll be fine at the mid lane, and, well, no Blink Dagger just yet, but a couple hundred gold away from him. But the problem is he'll have that Blink Dagger, and his ultimate will still be on cooldown for maybe about 2 minutes, maybe a bit less, depending on how long it takes to get that last couple hundred gold. And without that ultimate, MUFC are feeling really confident to be able to start pushing now.
Yep. Also, meanwhile, Huntrash Pro gets another kill. Also, they're going to be feeling very confident as Enigma very close to that mechanism as well. Teleportation coming on the mid lane. That's going to be a Lone Druid. If you see a Lone Druid teleporting this early, it's going to be a very good sight, especially when he has no item. Wang Wang does have Black Hole. He needs to pop his slow ring for that extra bit of mana. Can we get an Entangle? No first hit Entangle. And that should be enough for Vici Gaming to defend this push. I gotta just say, remember how we talked about how MUFC picking a very greedy lineup? They're just getting free kills everywhere, and this greedy lineup is not going to get punished at all.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting Salt, Queen of Pain getting kills at bottom lane. Just any rotation from MUFC, it's just not being really scouted out or detected, or even just having a bit of map awareness about where MUFC might be looking to gank. Vici Gaming are just sort of, I mean, playing a bit sloppy and not really cautiously enough. That's all they really need to do. Their SF was getting so farmed. They were being great. They are going to look to punish this TA here. TA has gone in, running in very, very deep. He does to block the Illuminate damage. He brings down Shadow Demon. FCFC has got another refraction. Doesn't look like it. With that DD rune, he gets one kill and he may even get out of here. Bottle Charger's ticking, and he gets out of there on about 90 HP.
Man, he was so fine. He had 12 wand charges. He was just playing with these guys.
Yeah.
Gets mech'd up here as well. Yep.
The double refraction, once again, he leads with the refraction, cast it again, and keep with that illuminate. They really needed that damage from that. That would have done a good 300 plus damage, and with that, maybe they get the kill.
All right, we're seeing this on the bot lane here. Raze, second Raze, C-Raze! That ain't Yafits. Surprise factor is gone.
It worked last time. SF actually about a minute or two ago, while that fight was going on, he did get a solo kill on this Weaver with a double raise.
Oh, okay.
That time around, it didn't work.
I thought that was the first time he had it, but no, he definitely had it, as he has 900 gold in the bank. You know, again, even though he didn't get the kill, he still have to make Weaver respect that there is a Shadow play around, and he's got to play accordingly.
Yeah, and this Shadow Fiend, I mean, that one death on him means a lot. He's been slowed down so much with this. This is 12 minutes in. If it wasn't for that one death, if he kept on free farming, he would have probably about 20 more CS than he has right now. He'd be looking at maybe having about 2k. He'd probably already have a Yasha, maybe a Treads with a Yasha now, but right now instead, he's sitting on just the Shadow Blade with some regular boots. Maybe going to start some Treads here. Maybe just wants a BKB. But, I mean, BKB is going to be essential, but there's still stuff that goes through a lot of physical damage from the TA, the Weaver, and then, of course, the Black Hole from the Enigma.
Yep. So, again, I still think it's a very, very good buy. This Weaver, by the way, had a tough early game, but now level 8 Tranquil boots up and should be basically immune to death unless the Radiant team sends 3 or 4 to gank him, which, you know, he should notice that multiple heroes are missing. Vici Gaming, the Syllabear on the top lane, also about to get his bear picked up. Yeah, San Diego not having a good time at all. Didn't catch what item was on this bear. I assume not much. Maybe just boots and maybe an Orb of Venom. And Huntrash player, whenever his ultimate's...
SF is looking for this Weaver. He's in Viz. He's going to ulti it. He's going for it. No, does absolutely nothing. It's a level 1 ultimate. Even if you're spot on top of that Weaver, you probably don't kill him. And he's got a vitality booster now as well.
I think the Viz booster is actually going to be the big thing here. I wonder if it's going to be one of those standard Vanguard build or maybe just a Vid booster into a hood. That's a very common build as well, but looks like the entire team is smoked up. They're going to run into each other. Blink, clap, ultimate. That's exactly what you're looking for if you're the Panda player. They're going to go right on Winter. Winter's going to get blown up. FD is going to be the next target there. Can you actually bring him down? Shadow Fiend, who are you focusing? Not focusing just about anybody right now. They want Huntrash Pro. Huntrash Pro out of mana at this point. Can he actually blink? No more blink. One more race. Nice race here. Getting him in the fog. Meanwhile, the bear in big trouble. Can he get some entangle? Black hole. One-man black hole. But looks like the blink coming in. He gets trapped in the black hole as well. One more race. Clean up on FCFC. Asia's going to get dropped here. Weaver starting to get the right-click CTY on the run. Doesn't have the mana for the Shadow Blade. I think he's going to get picked off. No interest switching will help him out. Buying item before dying. Ballad teleport scroll. No, he doesn't need to because the rest of it was reliable goal, so he should be fine. Funrock trying to get on the run. Another blink cap coming in right now. Going back in time is the Weaver, so he is going to be going back up top on North. FCFC has regen rune and refract TP. Don't tell me he's going to make it out.
He does. FCFC, man, his TA has been it's been really the deciding factor so far for MUFC. That was a great fight coming out from him. He managed to get down the SD down really. Shadow Demon played that fight well, but FC sniped him out, found him when he needed to, and kills him kills him in the team fight twice, I believe it was, and as a result, MUFC, they're starting to pull ahead once again. That's a really good fight for them. And the thing is, these fights, Vici Gaming are getting hardly anything out of them. The only kills they've really been getting, a couple kills on the Weaver at bottom lane, but apart from that, the key heroes for MUFC, the TA as well as the Queen of Pain, both with a lot of farm, a lot of gold going their way.
Yeah, they removed the Aegis of Immortal, which, I mean, I don't think the TA cares too much about. You gotta keep in mind that teamfight started with the Brewmaster dropping ult on 3 heroes. Generally, that guarantees you win the teamfight. They lost that teamfight. So that puts you in perspective of how far behind Vici Gaming is. And again, Lone Druid not getting too much farm. Shadow Fiend is getting farm, but he's been dying on all these teamfights. Is this a Mask of Madness or is this a Helm on Shadow Fiend? Either case, I don't like the item choice because he's just so damn squishy.
The only two items I would like to see one of would either go the Yasha or you go straight BKB.
Yep.
It's the two items which make a lot of sense here. I mean, you could maybe justify something like a Blink Dagger, but I feel that's not going to really do a whole lot here. And to me, the big problem with the Vici Gaming lineup at this point, where's the actual disables and lockdown coming from? There's no, like you said, Weaver at bottom lane is invincible. Even before he had this Vitality booster, with just Tranquil boots, there's no actual way of holding him in place. You lead with a Disruption, well, there's nothing really to follow it up. You've got an Entangle, which isn't reliable, and you've got a Boulder Toss from a Brewmaster, but that requires an ultimate to be used. They've got no way of actually killing him off in these fights.
Can we get some Entangle hacks coming on? There's going to be a Disruption, and that should be a kill. I don't think you could get out of there. Well, he's going to make it difficult. Oh, come on! No lockdown spell. There's a mech coming out. Refraction's going to bring it back fine.
This is really the beauty of this MUFC lineup. They have all these semi-carries. Rather than going for one hard carry and putting all their eggs in one basket, get 3 heroes who you basically have to worry about all 3 of them. And you can't kill any of them because they're all mobile. You've got Weaver, Queen of Pain, and TA, all mobile, hard to kill, and you've got no disables. You're entirely relying on Entangle or Brewmaster Ultimate to ever win a fight against this MUFC lineup. And when those aren't up, when you aren't getting those fights aren't going your way. Especially when you combine it with the fact Enigma has a mech up to give them more survivability and HP in these fights. You've got Arcane Boots to help sustain them. Everything for MUFC with their team fight and hero composition is just so much stronger than what Vici Gaming have.
You gotta keep in mind that also there's no item progression for these heroes on Vici Gaming side to get those disabled. You're not gonna be buying a Scythe on a Shadow Fiend. You're not gonna get an Orchid anytime soon. It looks like they're gonna find CTY in big trouble. It looks like they're gonna use that offensive disruption, perhaps not correctly. And looks like Fenris is gonna be on the run, but he's gonna go down before dropping a Purge. Not sure what that sound came in about, but it sounded hella epic.
Yeah, something went down there. Shadow Fiend drops off a last-minute ultimate. This fight's not over, though. Here we go. Blink, Clap, ultimate. They're trying to get this Rubik. Defensive Disruption does get used. It looks like it was Rubik actually stole the Disruption. Maybe that's what the questionable Disruption was earlier. It was actually a Rubik Disruption. As TA now trapped up, but once again, he goes melted. He brings down the Spirit Bear.
He kills the bear, and of course, the damage
on the
hero.
Where was that bear? Was he like...
He was right next to it. He summoned it, trying to get some Entangle hacks, but
oh my God,
that didn't happen.
Things just going from bad to worse for Vici Gaming right now.
Yep, of course, by this tiny green dot, which I think they gotta make it a bit bigger. MUFC's up 1 game.
There's just no... I just don't know how Vici Gaming play this with their lineup. They can't team fight. They haven't got team fight heroes. They can't do... Like, that fight there was a fight where it was in, like, 3 different places. It was really scrappy and all over the place, but MUFC do even better in those fights. When you have a Queen of Pain, Weaver, TA, these are great in those sort of scrappy skirmishes. Team fights don't go their way. Split pushing isn't really great for Vici Gaming. They've got... I guess it's somewhat okay with an SF and Lone Druid, but that can be easily dealt with. There's so many strong gankers on MUFC, they just gank up their heroes who split push. There's no way really for Vici Gaming to use this lineup unless they got off to a really good start and just got ahead and got a big item advantage. The only way they're going to win is with that big item advantage, and they just haven't got it right now.
And looks like CTY in big trouble. Look at those hits. 2-hit KO against the Shadow Fiend. And of course, whenever you're dying as a Shadow Fiend, it's just really sad. You got to refine your soul. Oh no. Looks like the Blink Dagger not going to get... Oh, Malefice? Ugh. Just tiny bit off the range, and he's going to make it out fine. Is there any saving grace on Vici Gaming saying, alright, we're losing badly right now. We probably can't even defend our tier 2 towers. Can they defend their tier 3? Can actually the dire side push up? Despite having a big lead like this, do they have the items and hero to break high ground against Illuminate, Blind, Shadow Poison, Blink Dagger Ultimate from Panda? It seems pretty hard.
it seems to me like, well, we're going to see Keeper Light get caught out as well. Looking to do some more here. To me, the thing is, I don't see Vici Gaming winning this game. I don't mean to sound like a pessimist. I mean, it's one of those things where I know people say you have to just say there's always a chance to win, but I don't see Vici Gaming winning this game. I can see them stalling it out for maybe 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes if MUFC makes some silly mistakes, which we saw last game. Early on, they were prone to a few, and it is hard to push up against Shadow Poison, Fam Illuminate, but where is the late game goal? I mean, the only way they can maybe have a glimmer of hope is with a maxed out Shadow Fiend. This Lone Druid, he's ridden off. He's got nothing, and he's not going to farm anything up. He's going to get picked off again here at the mid lane, and to me, SF is the only hope, and he's just the tiniest glimmer of hope here, and I just don't see him getting enough farm quick enough for this game to be basically turned around.
Yep, Tier 2 gonna get taken down for free as Templar Assassin just doing all sorts of work. By the way, Shadow Fiend maybe heard of her talk or maybe realized as a Morbid Mass, not really the answer you need, so went back for a Blade of Alacrity. That Yasha just feels so puny compared to the item progression that MUFC's got. Speaking of which, you can see that I've completed BKB, or at least go to finish that BKB on Templar Assassin. Wang Wang's got the entire shop in his inventory, it feels like. And Weaver, what does he have? He's got a Yasha as well, so impressive damage output from off lane. And having a lot of HP to back it up too.
Well, I mean, MUFC, they just take down outer tower one by one. They're going to go maybe for the tier 2, then they wait for Roshan to come back up in 2-3 minutes. This is when MUFC get ahead, they're really good at just snowballing. Winter just is he makes a safe decision. He won't rush things. He won't look to sort of go for a risky gank or look for a risky, basically a siege until he's sure it's time. He'll take down all the outer towers. They'll probably back off, take Roshan, farm their enemies' neutrals, deward the entire map using this gem. And for now, well, they're going to look for pickoffs. They're going to find SF, it looks like, and well, another pickoff goes their way. This is like Vici Gaming just falling apart right now.
Yeah, I see TY just really using his Shadow Blade. This is one thing I always like to say about Shadow Blades in pro games and in pub games as well. I'll talk about that as engagements or ending. Is that if you want to use it as an initiation item, it's probably one of the best items in the game. It gives you attack speed, it gives you a lot of damage, and it gives you that burst damage, and of course a surprise factor when you're ganking. Defensively, it doesn't do anything because it gets countered so easily by Sentry Dust, and in this case, Gem, because the enemy team obviously knows you have it, and they're gonna gank you with detection beforehand. So we saw it just there doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah, well, they take the tier 2, and immediately Winter. I see a pink ping happening around the Roshan pit. He says it's not up just yet. Let's get these 3. I love how you can just tell what he's telling his team by his pings. He pings all 3 of those neutral camps after pinging Roshan. So he's like, okay, let's kill these on the way. They'll probably scout out that Roshan's not quite up, and then they'll go maybe to the Ancient, and then they go into the Roshan pit. TA actually going to try and stack the Ancient, so no, they're a bit too late, but MUFC just so efficient with their time. Like they never really, they always have a purpose with what they're doing, it seems. And it's really impressive to watch, and that's sort of one of their strengths here. I mean, their actual individual laning stage let them down a bit in the last game. That's where they fell behind and had that really bad early game where it looks like they were going to lose to Vici Gaming, but their decision-making in the mid to late game is really strong.
15,000 goal lead, and no amount of Shadow Raises will get you back, at least not for a long, long while. And of course, Roshan's going to get taken down very, very soon. You can see that Weaver, of course, Queen of Pain as well as Enigma coming back in. Shadow Blade gets popped. No cigar. Meanwhile, 2 supports back in the pit, still working out with Maelstrike and right clicks. Should be enough. And again, it's gonna be just a matter of time till the Dire just puts that hammer down and take out at least the first lanes of Rex. I know I talked about does the Dire team have enough to break high ground about 5-6 minutes ago, but since then they have got so much advantage that it's not even a question anymore.
I mean, this Lone Druid has not look to pick up anything. He's got nothing really inside. I mean, sitting on 1k gold at this point, it's like, well, are you actually going to farm maybe a Maelstrom in the next 2-3 minutes? Very unlikely even at that. I mean, there's just nothing really that he can do in this game. And, well, Brewmaster's maybe the one here who can help defend with a Blink ultimate, but he's almost going to get his ultimate forced out here near the mid lane. Rubik takes down the Keeper Light, and with Keeper Light down, defending becomes a whole lot harder without that Illuminate spam.
They do have the Panda ultimate, but they just don't have enough damage output to take advantage of whatever lockdown the Panda can provide you.
They bring down the Spirit Bear, so now we're only going to have, well, 1 Spirit Bear to defend with.
Han Trash Pro, or Han Trash player is going to eat a ultimate. Doesn't really care too much, has BKB, has Aegis, so she's going to be absolutely fine. The creep wave, unfortunately, nowhere near though. Weaver on the top lane here, pushing back in as well.
Yeah, it looks like they're just going to wait this out. He end up goes for this Manta style, which I think is a nice time. Gives some survivability, but some DPS. It's this nice blend, this hybrid item. It also gives you some strong pushing power. So we'll see him just looking to go split push towards the top lane. They do allow time and space for Keeper Light to respawn here. They don't look to force the issue just yet. And it's all about map control. I mean, Vici Gaming, at this point, they got to look and just think, what are we actually trying to do here? We're just being starved in our own base. We're having all our own neutrals farm in MUFC. This is unlike last game where this was happening around the 45-minute mark. This is the right time to actually be stalling and slowing down the game for MUFC because they haven't really all finished these big items. I mean, heroes like Queen of Pain doesn't have the Scythe of Vice. Weaver just having a Manta style. You would love to have another DPS item. Same for the TA. All these heroes can benefit from that next item. Unlike last game, we were 50 minutes in, and this was happening where everyone already had pretty much their full item sets.
Yeah, and also unlike the last game, there's a huge lead that MUFC is enjoying right now. There was a lead for Vici Gaming last game when they were trying to starve out MUFC, but MUFC had items at least to kind of force that comeback. This game, there's none of that item. The item chart just looks absolutely pitiful for Vici Gaming right now.
Oh, we are going to see initiations at bot lane. They're going to get Black Hole hits too, actually. The Blinding Light pushes Enigma back, but it doesn't cancel it. Fenrir doesn't actually get brought down by the TA. Couldn't bring him down fast enough. Self-disruption keeps him alive just a little bit longer, but he gets brought down fine. Here's on Trash Player. Still no Scythe of Vice, but he's going to easily be able to bring down this lone Druid. Two heroes on the sidelines. MUFC breach high ground. Enigma just says, hey guys, I've had enough. Let's end this. Goes blinking in with a stun. Brings down the Keeper of the Light, and well, 3 on the sidelines. Just the Panda and the SF. I guess it's like the 2 most farmed heroes still alive, but more likely than not, this is going to be a dead tier 3 tower, and possibly Rax's as well.
Meanwhile, Weaver on top says, hey guys, I'm here too. Raxing you guys, what's up?
Yeah, Weaver, the split push, I mean, at this point MUFC can split push, they can go as 5, there's so many different things they can do. They bring down Queen of Pain's Ages at bottom lane, the Blink Flat with a Lothar's attack, and
they
can't be able to hold a bit longer.
They can't actually get anybody with that ultimate, to say that Queen of Pain gets offensively disrupted. Wang Wang comes in right now, does he have the mech available? He does in about 3 seconds. Queen of Pain going offensive right now, Finra in big trouble, they have the mech available, so they should be absolutely fine. Requiem Soul comes in right now, but that's a dying Requiem Soul. As he gets popped immediately after, mech puts everybody back in respectable health. Also, back in the top lane here, I'll talk about that later. It looks like they are going to defend. A lot of damage being dealt. And there's a root on Templar Assassin. They are going to get a kill. Well?
No. FC, once again. No, he's not this time. He almost came close to doing the impossible. He's done some miraculous escapes, but not this one. But top Raxes, there we go. Melee Barracks as well. They're going to get 2 maybe the Weaver. Manta Style Illusion. Provide some additional damage. Buyback coming out. And I think MUFC are feeling pretty confident about their position right now. They know now that it's going to take a really big thing to lose this game. And well, there's your GG call.
Well, if there's one person to blame, you gotta blame Gods. Because he was pointing out, man, after Epic Game 1s, there's no Epic Game 2s. So I'm throwing you under the bus right now.
Well, in the past, it's only been a case where it'd still go 3 games, but this last series, I remember that 90-minute game. The next 2 games went to DK after DK lost game 1, but it went 3 games, but it was still very one-sided games. Unfortunately, this is a 2-0 for MUFC. Well, it depends how you look at it. For the MUFC fans, the Malaysian fans out there, they'll be pretty happy with how Winter and his team are playing. They've had some really good results lately. They 2-0 Vici Gaming here. They beat Orange Esports in the final of the GEST. And, well, here they are, taking on Vici Gaming. They'll have some much tougher opponents awaiting them later, potentially LGD International. But before that, we have our next match, which is going to be Orange Esports up against LGD International, guys. So stay tuned for that for sure.
Yep. Do you know if that game's going to be starting immediately?
It's scheduled to start in 7 minutes time, so...
Okay, so we're right on time. We're going to just stay tuned till... Make sure we get up the stat score for those stats junkie out there.
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah, Vici Gaming drops to the losers bracket. They're not out of it just yet. They'll have at least another best of 3 series. But MUFC moves on after 2 games of spectacular performance. This has been a broadcast of Beyond the Summit. I am Luminous, and of course he is Gods. You can support us at our respective Twitters. I am Luminous Inverse basically everywhere. And Gods, it's at BTS Gods on Twitter and GGNet Gods on Facebook. Am I right on that?
Yeah, you are. I'm something different everywhere. I'm like the opposite of you.
Alright. Hope you guys enjoyed the broadcast so far. We still have a lot more Dota waiting for you guys. So stay tuned and enjoy.